Well, that was a schedule.
I wonder if I've got time to record that list about the
Transits. What's the
and
meaning
you
of
have to
that?
just
Man, I gotta eat.
that day around
All
all
day.
got
God,
the
it's already done. God, it's been a week. Next week, last
Fee, where
week.
are you? Just
Thrilled
grab
I
my
saw
water.
Hi,
Hi, it's
how's your day
Matilda.
going?
It's so nice
Just
to hear
getting
your
your chart
voice. Evening.
Evening, you little ray of sunshine. How you doing?
I'm good. It's been a busy weekend. I'm stupid. I have just
over delivered.
I don't know if I've over delivered, but I thought that I had superhuman abilities. Well,
oops.
My first week back at work, and I have all of these grand plans in my head and all of this stuff for 2025, and I'm getting very tired very quickly. And I just said to you before we sat down, I've got an hour in me. That's it.
Yes, you did. Because you were already busy on your day. I'm going to brag.
Tickle. Yes, sorry. Go on. Brag away. Bragging's
That's
good.
right. A little brag. Today was my first day in 2 months where I let myself just have a putter day. I mean, I'll be writing tonight and doing other stuff, but I was so tired.
Yeah.
And even on my days off, you know, I'm going out with my mom and doing stuff. And I have not just had I don't know, let's organize the sock drawer kind of day. So that was my day today.
Yeah. No,
it's been a while.
Great days. You need them. We need them. We really do. I realised I didn't have, what did I have on yesterday? Oh, I did sorry, I'm just trying to get myself comfortable so that
I see.
I'm leaning back. Yesterday, all I had was my chat in my Patreon, which I'm trying to do every couple of weeks, or, you know, it may not be that much because I do deliver quite a lot to my Patreon. But yesterday I managed to, so it's Friday and Saturday, I managed to pack up all of the overseas parcels. I've had all the presents here. Then it was getting somebody to pick up the boxes so I could pack them. And so I did that. It was quite amusing because Andrew carried everything into the post office for me and I had to do all the declarations and everything. Our friendship could have ended about then. And I ordered Christmas food because we're having it catered this year because. And then I did my Patreon chat and then I just watched TV. We need days to regroup. Yeah. We are delivering constantly and under quite constant requests.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good for you.
Thank you. And I didn't even feel bad about it. I used to.
You should never feel bad about taking a day off.
No, but I literally was just like, I don't have it in me today. And I'm just going to drool. And it was a good drooly day. I will write. I'm starting to feel the urge to write, you know, but I just needed a putz day. So
we need putsy days. Putsy days.
I work all.
But we've done some planning.
Oh yeah,
I can't tell you what we're planning.
No, we're not going to tell you yet.
Really exciting planning.
Super exciting.
Sort of very, very exciting.
Because we're brilliant.
We definitely are brilliant, and we also, it's going to be fun.
Oh my God, it's going to be so fun. And it's so important in 2025 to make fun where you can make it, you know, because it's a crazy year.
And never ever feel guilty, whoever you are. Do not feel guilty about taking time off to regroup.
We need it. We
Definitely.
need it. I used to feel so guilty when I took time off, you know. And
you can't. No. It's been an interesting week, though. I think we were up for a couple of very interesting weeks. And if you've been in my chats, you will know.
Oh. Oh, God. It's a cluster F.
you're being polite. It's just, yeah. There's a couple of very interesting times coming up, but um, how many times? And I lost count. But how many times have you been asked about the drones?
Okay, our current events conversation chat in the Awake Space Patreon is pretty much 50, 60 conversations deep, with different things of it. And
Deepest.
yeah, it's
Um,
honestly that I think there is a reason to be concerned, but I don't think it's the reason everybody else has. So,
Listen, I've
but
I've stated clearly that if it's the
hmm
aliens, can they please come and probe me, because it's been a
yeah,
while.
I'll take a probing.
I'll take
It's
a
been a while.
probing,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think the government are well aware of what it is.
Oh, I would guarantee the government is very
Mm-hmm.
well aware because we do have anti-drone technology. That's an established. In fact, I actually put up a video of a guy who's an expert in these things, and
Mm-hmm.
Fox News, man, they got him off so fast. But he was like, they were like, we don't even have the technology to deal with this, trying to get drive panic. As what have I been telling everybody? That is the media's job, is to get your limbic system overworked.
Yeah,
Anyway, and he went, oh, I need to stop you there. We very much do have the technology. And he's a civilian, but he's like, he's a specialist in drones. And he was
of
like,
course they
no,
have
we
the
have the
technology.
technology. Yeah.
It amazes me. Google's
Hmm.
free, guys. Google is free. Um,
That would take effort.
I'm also going to say, this is going to sound so elitist. I love
Well, you are.
so.
You have a British accent.
I have a
Just
British
having
accent,
one. You could
so.
be from the East End and you'd still be elitist.
All right, loves. I'm going to tell you my. That sounds like an
My
Opera
gym.
Australian.
My plate's ache.
You do an East End accent so much better than I do. Um, Google is free, okay, and it's dividing the psychic community, because the new age are all saying we're on a timeline and the aliens are coming and they've got a message for us. Sorry.
Be probably fuck
This,
you, you stupid apes. But
and they're not stopping for a reason, because they're just
it's
driving,
just
aren't they?
like, this is
Not
ghetto
the,
AF. I'm
it's
out.
not the
Roll up
neighborhood.
the windows.
If you
Pop the
drive,
locks.
you know that seedy neighborhood you drive through that you
Right.
automatically start entering, and you hit the lock all
Oh,
and
yeah.
your whole car locks? That's the
Yep.
aliens driving past.
You're like,
Um,
mm-mm.
it's new technology that they are
Yeah,
trying
it
out
is.
and
Mhm.
surveilling. There's a new word
Yes,
for
I
you.
would say surveilling.
Surveilling.
Absolutely. It is surveilling, and surveilling is a noun, and I mean, is a verb. We know our parts of speech here, but it is.
Do
It
you
is
what?
surveillance. Yeah.
But it is
Mhm.
yeah, the panic, but the media are always going to divide to conquer and set people
Mhm.
amongst each
Well,
other.
and they're distracting as well. So the question is while they have everybody upset about the drones,
Mm-hmm.
what else is going on? Which fox is robbing which hen house? Well, everybody
Mm-hmm.
is turned and looking at Diddy or Trump, even, because honestly, I've always said he's the smokescreen, and there's another heist going on somewhere behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a lot of people involved in the Trump campaign that don't want to be involved in the Trump administration if
Mhm.
it got to him being in an administration.
Yep.
There's a lot of people that do want to be involved in the administration or lead the administration. There's a lot of puppet masters, can we say?
There's
Um,
several marionettes. He's a sock
mhm.
puppet, and not a
Oh, is he a
well-made one
sock puppet?
either.
I'm going to
He's
say,
a
is he?
sock puppet that's poorly made.
He reminds me of Punch from Punch and Judy. That's what he
Oh,
reminds me
yes.
of.
He does, doesn't he? Ugh.
Yeah.
Punch gave me
He,
nightmares when I was a kid.
it's just not a very nice story, is it? I mean, has that
No, I
been
didn't like
banned
Punch and
yet?
Judy. Mm.
Isn't no? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to separate my childhood traumas. Which one was Punch and Judy part of?
I
Um,
I was traumatized as a late teenager in England in Covent Garden when there was a Punch. Punch and Judy puppet show,
Mm-hmm.
like in the market. And I went to go watch because, like, oh, Punch and Judy, I'd heard of it, and then I was like, oh my God, what in the domestic violence is this? I
Let's
was just
normalize beating our wife.
like,
Uh,
right?
I
And
was,
by God, why is she angry? It's
yeah,
like,
I
shit,
think it's because he looks like Donald Trump. And
Trump,
she didn't know
right?
about him. I'd be angry if I was married to Donald Trump. Let's face it. And we don't
I
know
don't
whether
know,
his wife
Melania.
is angry or not because she's had so much work done. There
Yeah,
is
but you know what? That
nothing.
woman knows how to. They talk about him and his deals, man. She's renegotiated that prenup like four
Oh,
times. I'm like,
jeez.
I don't know. I'm kind of like, that's some acumen.
Mhm. And if that is her,
Hmm.
the way that she comes on and she goes, yes, but I love him more. That's, talks about him. And I'm like, if that's your
If that's
taste
the
in
price she's
men, if
paying,
that's, she's making money. I think she honestly thought he was going to be dead by now. I'll be fair. She
modern
didn't realize it
medicine has
was.
robbed us so much.
I'm sure someone's injecting him with formaldehyde. Um, Modern medicine has definitely robbed us. But roll on the end of 2025
Hmm.
because I
It
don't
won't
think he's going to
work.
be around by then.
I don't see him around in 2026
Mm.
much at all. Like he's not. I've always had he'd make it through 2025 maybe, but his
He,
health
he may be
concerns are
alive. I don't
serious.
think that he
So,
will be a kicking. I think he's going to end his days
no,
in
he's not very functional.
a,
Hmm.
a state of drooling and rocking.
Yeah,
So, yeah. And
that's a
what else
shame.
is happening? The week that was, Luigi, not
Yeah,
the one in
Luigi.
Mario
God,
Kart.
that's some. No, well, it was actually really funny. I saw some good memes about that. Like, when your brother always got more attention, Mario.
Mm, yes.
That one cracked me up. Um,
I like that one. I
um,
liked the song you sent me. I thought that was amazing.
oh my God, to the Hey There Delilah. I think isn't
Yep,
that Hey There Delilah? Yeah.
I did like
That
that.
kid does parody songs all the time. That's his
Oh,
shtick.
I didn't go back and look.
He's
I
worth
just looked at that
following.
one.
Yeah, look at his account because I've followed him on TikTok for a long time and he's funny. But he
Okay.
just nailed I just showed that to my mom tonight because I was like, this is pretty funny cultural stuff. I've found it very funny that our news media has their knickers in a twist and is like, oh, how could
Very
people
upset.
they've been making jokes about it? And I'm like, might want to read
You
some
want to
history
play with
books.
fire? You want to play with fire? Do you
You
think
know?
it's a good lesson in that you are not immune to the outcome of your actions?
Right. Yeah.
Mm.
And what got me is they're still now with anybody speaking, they're like, do you condemn murder? Obviously. But you sure as hell argue for gun rights when kids are getting mowed down and it's just thoughts and prayers,
Well, how many
you
people,
know?
think about it, there's a lot of people that have been murdered because of the healthcare.
Oh, absolutely.
If modern medicine,
Not a handful, not a
Mhm.
couple hundred,
Yeah,
thousands.
if
Thousands.
modern medicine
Hmm.
is keeping Donald Trump and Biden upright,
Oh yeah.
okay,
Oh, big time. Hmm.
then why, then people that are
Wait,
robbed of the
yeah.
right should be charging for murder, should
Hmm.
be going
Absolutely.
after the healthcare system for murder
Hmm.
and the
Hmm.
healthcare
Hmm.
people. And I've
Yeah,
got
there's been
permission
a
to.
hell of a lot of people died because they got their coverage denied or the treatment denied that they needed.
Mhm.
That would save their lives.
I do
So,
have permission to just mention this, and
hmm.
that's Mandy, who has been
Hmm.
helping me. And her beautiful daughter Millie died on her 21st birthday. And she would have had a
Hmm.
couple of more years with her family, but United Healthcare dragged their feet in approving, and it never got approved. And the
Hmm.
oncologist was begging them.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
just go, How?
Yeah,
How
it
if they're
puts,
not being
it
charged
yeah,
with murder? What absolves them from not being charged with murder?
money,
So, yeah. Are they any different
money.
to Luigi, who pulled out a gun?
Yeah. No. No, and in fact, I would say theirs was probably more premeditated
Exactly.
and far
Exactly.
more cold-hearted because it was just down to profit. And that's what's funny is, and it isn't funny. I mean, loss of life isn't funny. It just isn't. Ironic, yes. Um,
Yes. And
and I've
mhm.
been telling my people on, in the Awake Space Patreon to be careful of how you speak about these things here in the States, because I was reading an article off CNN and they talked about anti corporatist activism. And I went, oh.
Mm, Jesus.
And this goes back to for the last 2 years, I've been saying, be like the French Resistance and not like the
Yes.
French Revolution, because you're going to have to be
100%.
very careful,
Mm-hmm.
because just because the Constitution grants us free speech, there
Mm-hmm.
will be different interpretations of exactly what that means.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's becoming, yeah, it's becoming very scary. But yeah, the cult following that this man has gotten, and just to raise the
It's
tone a little bit,
hilarious.
let's just raise the tone a little bit.
Oh, oh,
And
oh, oh, did I tell you about the expert on the news saying
no.
the reason? I gotta stop laughing before I can talk. So this news anchor asks this expert, they say, why do you think he has such a big following? He goes, well, besides his abs.
Oh, God. Do we know? Have we seen his abs?
Yes, we
I
have.
haven't seen.
Oh, you
Good.
should come over to the
I'm.
awake space. I can tell you, we have a couple of young gentlemen who've been posting the pictures they've been finding on social media. They're
Oh, I
fighting
have to
over him
look.
right now. Hmm.
I have to look. My favourite interview on this whole thing was a news anchor talking to the roving journalist who is stood outside the prison and asking him questions that he was yelling out to the prisoners, and the prisoners were responding and their lights were flashing. That was, yes,
That
that
was
was
funny.
entertainment at its best. I was cracking up watching that, and I'm like, does Luigi have a television? No.
I saw that. It was so funny.
Like,
And the
how
news
was
anchor
dinner
was like,
tonight?
right? Shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. But it's I find these things to be no coincidence as we move forward. And
No, it's
yeah.
there has to be change, and there is change coming.
Hmm.
But
Hmm. Not
it
next year
is
though.
no, no. Next year's probably a little bit of rug. If you can imagine being on a flying rug and somebody is trying to pull that rug underneath you
Hmm.
constantly, that's what next year's going to feel like.
Yeah, so
Okay, now.
you're Aladdin and Jasmine on the flying carpet, and Jafar is hanging onto the side trying to pop you off it. That's pretty much what it looks like. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Good
We're full of
times,
the
but
joys of
we're going to
spring
have a
today,
good
aren't we?
year.
We're going to have a
No,
very
we're
good
going to have
year.
a good year.
I'm
I
very
love to
excited.
laugh in the face of danger. What do you mean?
Definitely. Definitely. What are we going
Gen
to do? I
X.
mean, just it's a fact that you can control or you can't control it. And I have no
Right.
control, so do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have fun.
That's right. Yes, you were. We were
And
planning fun.
we were planning fun. And it
Hmm.
came from, we were both thinking the same thing at the same time,
Hmm.
which
We
was
were,
really
as
quite
we do
amazing.
sometimes. We
Yes, we do.
weirdly sync up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's, yes, always amusing.
because I had a
But
weak moment.
you did have a weak moment, and I just said,
I
well,
told
come
you
on.
something I would never say.
Yeah, but I was thinking the same thing at the same time, and I went,
Oh, I love
well,
that.
we are in control of our own destiny. Let's
Hmm.
do this.
Let's do it.
And then we
Dun,
added
dun,
onto it,
dun,
and then
dun,
we
dun,
added
dun,
onto
dun.
it, and then we
And then
added
we,
onto it.
quite an
But we will
adventure we
have an
both had.
announcement hopefully within the next
Hmm.
week.
Hopefully. Yeah. Gotta check some
Just
logistics.
given her a panic, but
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I don't know if we'll have an announcement. Maybe two
we will.
weeks, but
But I told you we were going to do this a year ago,
you did. You did.
and
You
we were
did.
going to share an assistant,
We did. Well, we were manifesting that.
and that's
Remember? We
happened.
talked about that. Yep. And
Mm-hmm.
that's happened. The lovely Alicia
Um,
manifested
so
a lot this year. It
I
was those intentions have
have.
rolled in. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Same.
The last 2 years
Same.
for me, I
Mm-hmm.
have realized how, I teach manifestation. I've always
Right.
lived
Same.
by
Mm-hmm.
manifestation, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's so you're being pushed in that direction or you're working in that direction, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't always see it. It's so subtle,
Mm-hmm.
those
Mm-hmm.
moves.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and then when the learning the opportunities are there for us to grab onto to get us
Mm-hmm.
to our
Mm-hmm.
manifestations.
Mm-hmm. Even
Um,
when it looks like what you want isn't happening, like it's like almost looks like it isn't gonna happen.
mhm.
It is.
And also, the more you doubt it, the more you'll push it away.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's a big lesson. It's quite difficult.
It's a
Talking of which, I do
huge
have
lesson.
a manifesting in the new year event that is happening on the 4th of January.
4th of
Um,
January. Look at you working that first week of January.
it's a 30-minute meditation manifestation event. It ain't hard. I might even do it in my pajamas. Um,
Ooh, you should. I
yeah,
teach in my PJs all the time. I love working for
maybe I will.
myself. Yeah.
Maybe I will.
You want to
But
know a secret?
come on, you're wearing your pajamas now.
I am wearing my pajamas, but not the sweater. But
Of course.
I have my fluffy slippers on too.
Do you know how many events, even mediumship events, because I do them at odd times during the,
Right.
if I want to reach a certain area, or people
Right.
say,
Right.
it's never the time I want it, and I decide to do something stupid like 11 p.m. or 8 a.m. I have done the newsreader thing. I've got the shirt on, I've got the makeup
Right.
on, my hair
The
goes on
Ron
top of my
Burgundy
head,
moment. Yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
I'm sat there with my flanny pajamas and my Ugg boots on underneath the desk.
Yeah, I went out to the living room to eat dinner, and my mom looked at me kind of funny. And went, "I'm going to record later." And she went, "Oh, you don't?" I'm like, "No, Mom. I'm like a news anchor.
No,
I
we
get
are news
shorts
anchors.
underneath this."
Yeah.
Yeah,
We gotta be comfy.
we will. So your manifestation event is January 4th. We'll make sure we get
Yes.
that in the show notes.
So
I'm
that
not
will.
doing anything major until like the second week of January.
I have 3 events in January.
Mm-hmm.
Three. But that's what next year's about for me. I'm reaching more
Same.
people and want to reach more
Yep.
people.
Yep.
I'm
I'm
obviously still doing the
teaching
one-on-one
and
readings,
training.
but
Mm-hmm.
it's not always about. It's not always doable for people. I know that I am pricey.
Same.
Okay,
Yep. Same.
but I
Mm-hmm.
charge according to my ability.
Yeah. It's
And
not about the time, even. It's about the
yeah,
results at the end of the day. And I think that's important for
exactly.
people to remember.
And I
Mm-hmm.
also do not have the energetic capacity to read as much as people want me to or think
Mm-mm.
that we're able to. So for
No.
me, I'm pulling back on
Mm-hmm.
my readings. They're still available. I'm just not doing
Mm-hmm.
as many
Mm-hmm.
days on them
Mm-hmm.
so that I then have the capacity to reach more people.
Right. Yeah.
See?
I'm going to be teaching a lot of practicum next year on how to use your astrology for various things, whether you're building community or building
Amazing.
business. Yeah. So we tend to dovetail pretty well between the
Mm.
two of us. So we try not to conflict our dates.
Yeah, we
Um,
do. We do try to do that. We did have a bit of a panic, or I had a panic for next week's event that we're both doing.
oh, yeah. And we're okay now
Yes, we're okay now. Yes, but at the
because your hair
time,
appointment, yeah,
it was all around a hair appointment, and I don't. If you know me, all right,
it's valid.
3 weeks. Every 3 weeks, I have my hair done.
That's
Okay,
damn straight. And
um,
that's valid.
and I haven't had it cut. Look how long it is,
I
and that's with a
know.
curl. So I haven't had it
Right.
cut for so long
No,
that
you need it.
this
It's
is a
Christmas time.
this is my yearly cut. So yeah, so
Oh,
I'm not
God,
missing a
mine
hair
now.
appointment for anyone.
Yeah.
But if you're a Patreon
So
member, we have our Christmas party next Friday
next
night
Friday in the US, yeah.
and
Yeah.
Saturday in Australia. In Australia.
I calculated that time zone.
You did really well. The daylight savings is throwing people off.
Oh, but we're
In
all
general,
on. Oh, you're on daylight savings and we're on standard.
I am. That is correct. I am.
Okay,
Now it is
that's why.
Australian Eastern Daylight Time.
Right. So this is how I get away from this standard and daylight time. I just
Mm-hmm.
say Pacific. And so I think we could just do Australian Eastern time
Yes, but
because
if
the
you're
people who are in
Googling,
Australia,
mm-hmm.
right, but if we're setting the time and we're writing it down, the people in Australia or in that time zone
Yeah,
will
absolutely.
know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But some people will do a Google Pacific to Australian Eastern Standard Time, and that's going to put them off an hour because we're in daylight time. That's why we provide the times.
Right, exactly. Because time zones are a thing.
Time zones are
And
the
they're a pain in
bane
the
of my
ass.
life. If I need to change a reading for any reason, people just seem to think that, I can do 8 o'clock tomorrow. If I'm sick, I've got to move a whole day's appointment this week
Mm-hmm.
because I've got to go and see my surgeon to get the sign off.
Mm-hmm.
And people will go, okay, I'm available at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Sorry, that's already booked. I'm fitting you around the rest of my schedule.
Well, there's that, and I used to get people being like, "Okay, I'm free at 8." Like, where are you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who's 8 o'clock?
Yeah.
Because your 8 o'clock might be my 5 a.m. and that ain't happening.
Oh, do you know what my favourite one is? Do you know what my favourite one that I get an email probably at least once a day? I booked a reading and I'm just looking at the paperwork. It says I booked it for the 14th, but it tells me it's on the 15th. It's wrong. Okay. It's booked in your time zone, which is the 14th. The receipt is in the 15th because it came from Australia.
Your system. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I am reading you on the 15th in my time, but you will still be on the 14th.
So before you and I met, back in 2020 and 2021, and I was calling weather events, and I said east of the Rockies. Okay, that was the focus. East of the Rockies. You're not even in America, but I think you know that the Rocky Mountains exist. The Rockies. They're in movies and stuff, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when I said east of the Rockies, I meant everything east of the Rockies in the United States. Somebody would come up and go, "What about Florida?" Which is it was I'm sorry guys, but it was usually Florida. Occasionally I'd get somebody from Vermont going, "Huh?" And I'd be like, "Come on, Vermont, you know better. We know Florida's gonna ask, but come on, Vermont." I actually had to do a video with the map of the United States behind me and
Oh
go,
my God.
"This is the Rockies, that's east."
Seriously.
I'm like, come on, Google.
We've got a lot
Google
to
it.
do, guys. We have a lot to do. If our energy
And they wonder why we don't want to be on TikTok anymore.
Because that was my next point of conversation. I know so many people are saying, why aren't you on TikTok? We miss you. I just have no oomph to make a TikTok. I just don't.
I'm not even talking about election stuff. It literally has been painful since the end of 2022 for me because I could make a nice video just explaining your rising sign and some dumbass would come on and argue with me because they heard about it on Reddit. I'm like,
yeah.
Are you a little expert? It's like
I know, and I'm just tired. I do want to get back. I do want to say hi. I do.
Do you? You're way nicer than I am.
I just have this. I'm just tired of people being A, the
You could have just
negativity,
ended.
because
You could have ended the sentence there. I'm just
don't.
tired of people. Not our lovely listeners, not our clients. That's
You've
not
got to
the
understand. Yeah.
general public. It's the general public. It's not the people we love. And I'm trying to remember most of the people who follow us are just wonderful and delightful, but
Oh
it's
God, they're
just,
amazing. I've just hosted an
yeah.
hour-long.
Mm-hmm.
I have my coffee morning
Mm-hmm.
every month, and my Patreons are really precious to me, and they show up and
Yeah, absolutely.
they ask intelligent questions, and they want to
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
and they will
absolutely.
educate themselves.
Yeah.
I had to give a
They use
warning
Google.
yesterday. The only thing I had to give a warning about yesterday was come into my chats and talk about conspiracy theories. I will cry. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I will cry. Nobody wants to make Matilda cry. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but the reality of TikTok, and people go, shut the comments down. That makes no sense. If
It makes
I'm
no,
yeah,
your video will go nowhere if you shut the
mm-hmm.
comments down.
And quite
None,
frankly,
nowhere. Mm-hmm.
I don't particularly. It has the same effect. I either make no video or I shut the comments down. They both have the
Yeah.
same outcome. I just don't want to do it. I don't. Um,
Honestly, it took a lot of my creative energy,
mm-hmm.
and it wasn't really feeding me. It wasn't
Yes.
financing me. Um,
All fucking me.
no. Well,
Sorry.
it did, but not the way you want. But anyway,
Oh, that's my favourite
but
saying. If you're not feeding me, financing me, or fucking me, you are
and that
giving
is a
me
Matilda
nothing to
saying,
me.
not a Lori saying. That's right.
It's on my fridge.
So
I need it in big letters.
you do. And see, mine is if you're going to troll me, you got to pay me.
Mm-hmm. And I
If you're
like
going to
that one.
troll
And
me, you
kiss
got
my
to pay me
accuracy.
and kiss my accuracy. That's right. Cause I was going to get a community violation if I said kiss my ass. So I went kiss my accuracy,
Yeah. So
but which is still exceptionally high. Thank you. Very little general Q public, but, it drives me so
can I just
crazy.
talk about New Jersey for a second? I know we've got the drones going on there. All right. Do you remember the event that we had in August?
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously
Mm-hmm.
you do because you were there.
I
Um,
was there, but that doesn't
we
mean I remember it.
I don't remember any of it. I watched a snippet of it that somebody had sent, and I went, I remember none of what I say.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't. Yeah,
and somebody, first of all, you were adamant there was going to be drones in
I got to get a
in
clip of that.
in that area. I've got to pull that out.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, you did send me the timestamps for what we had said, and the other
Mm-hmm.
one was around how litigious the election was and the delays,
Mm-hmm.
etc. But yeah, we talked about drones, and certainly it came from you, not me.
I
In
had drones a lot towards the end of the year because of Palestine, Israel, Palestine, but
Mhm.
also Ukraine, Russia,
But you were
and then in the
specific in this
United
one.
States.
You were
Yeah,
specific, but apart from that, the
that's really cool. I need to go find that.
we need to go find it. The weather event that we discussed, that every fucker known to man comes onto TikTok and says, "You were wrong about New Jersey." Were we? Were we? What happened last week? Was there an atmospheric weather that went from Louisiana up to and above? I don't know what's above New York, Pennsylvania, Maine, whatever.
No, it was like
It
Maine and it went up. But honestly, it was Chicago east, north to
mhm,
south.
exactly what we'd said.
Yep. And the wall of water was Spain. And
Yeah, the
that, like,
wall of water that
I'll
we
get
said
that the wall of water I saw in October specifically,
was Spain.
and yeah, was Spain. And the clients I saw water issues in October who were in New Jersey, they had plumbing problems,
See?
which was funny.
But it
So
just goes to show I can be wrong with my dates. It does. I'm a
yeah,
medium. I am not
mm-hmm,
specific with dates.
mm-hmm,
I am stopping putting dates on
mm-hmm,
predictions because people are
mm-hmm.
so.
Yeah,
And my
you don't need
predictions are
them
very,
anyway.
very, very specific. It's not like
Mm-hmm,
it's not like I'm saying this will happen and it's not
I have to
specific.
I have to go back and listen because if I mentioned ocean currents at all, that's what I think when I got the directions were hard to call. And some
Mhm.
of the calling it for New Jersey in October was
Yes,
what I had seen in client charts. I can't help it. I had 3 clients in a row who had issues with planning. Okay.
quite amusing.
Who knew? Maybe New Jersey has issues with plumbing. I don't know. I'm not from the East Coast. But because it looks the same. Flooding is flooding, whether it's your potty or a main, a city
Hmm.
water line or it's an atmospheric river. It shows it's all very,
It,
it's water. It's a lot
yeah,
of water.
it's water, and I get
But,
shown it very differently.
hmm,
But I don't get, hey, this is happening on October 31st. I felt into
right.
the energy of it, and that's what I
Hmm.
felt around it.
Hmm.
And also, I did feel it was around election. Um,
Hmm.
so I misinterpret, and I'm happy to say I'm wrong. I'm not wrong on the prediction, I'm wrong
Hmm.
on the timing of it.
And see, I was wrong on the location, but the wall of water happened
Hmm.
because it happened in Spain. And
And I had
directions
Spain
are
in a different one.
terribly, yeah, yeah. Directions are super, 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 super hard
Hmm.
in astrology. So I do them because it hones my skills. It's like sharpening a knife. It's the whetstone. You get sharper and sharper. And where you get it wrong teaches you probably more than when you get it right because you sit and you
Yeah.
study like obsessively going, okay, why was that
Hmm.
there and not here? Um,
And yeah,
but I think it
and
was ocean currents. And I think that's, I want to go back and re-listen because I think I did mention something to do with ocean currents. I don't know though. I have to go, but I think I did. And if I did, then that's, notice we had the atmospheric river last week or this weekend.
yeah, but that's what I was talking about. The people who came on and told us
Hmm.
how shit we were, because of the New York, New Jersey.
They can get
That, and
over
we,
themselves anyway.
yeah, no, people can. It's a free fucking service. Um, yeah,
Right, exactly. We don't make money on TikTok. We don't make money on TikTok.
but in my Patreon, when I made a video recently and it was free, and I
Hmm.
just said, well, maybe I'm shit at timing, or talked about my timing. And so many people that had personal readings with me came on and said, well,
Hmm.
actually, you're not, because this has
You're
happened,
not.
and this has
Yeah.
happened, and this has happened.
No, I think we'll see why and what as things go on. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, I do. I do. I think we'll see why and what as things go on. Because
Okay.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's been fun. I mean, other than that, but I will go back on. I'm going to put up a bunch of clips just from the podcast.
Yeah,
I've
I've
had
been
some
putting
good
some.
interviews.
I've been doing that. I've put up some clips of the last
Hmm.
interview, and I've got another interview I'm doing tomorrow for
Hmm.
this week's. Um,
Fun.
it's fun. I'm enjoying them because I'm interviewing people that I have done readings
Hmm.
with and who have benefited from
Hmm.
my work, and I think that that's what people really want to hear.
Yeah.
How the work can benefit us or benefit everyone.
Yeah.
But it's it's fun. It's been
And we have really cool clients too.
oh god,
People
we've got
who do
amazing
cool
clients.
things and have amazing perspectives on life and
Hmm.
do cool things. I'm always like, wow.
I'm always in awe when I
Hmm.
have a client that's already. Sometimes I sit there and I go, "Well, what do you want to know? Because you've done the work."
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? They're coming to me for other reasons, obviously,
Right.
but sometimes some of my clients, it's all about them wanting to move forward, or they're at a standstill, or
Right.
they want to make decisions,
Hmm.
and then you get this shining light who have done the work. They're halfway through their project that they wanted to do 20 years ago.
Hmm.
They've made the steps forward, and it's like,
Hmm. Hmm.
what do you want to know? Yes.
I think sometimes it's just that validation while you're
Yeah, a
still in
lot
the
of it is.
middle of it, I get that a lot where people they do know, but they're just, I've been there, like, well, I can't quite see the light at the end of the tunnel, but my
Mhm.
gut and my guidance has been telling me go forward. And so it's just nice to go to a real professional who knows that you trust.
Absolutely.
And it isn't that you're going in to hear what you want to hear. I'll be like, be honest, be brutal, tell me I'm screwed up, Um, but to get that validation,
Mhm.
you're like, gladly.
I make people cry on a regular
Yeah,
basis, not because I'm
same.
mean. It's just because they feel seen. They feel as if,
Yes.
and you
Yeah.
guys are going to know you better than
Yeah.
anyone else. Of course, they're going
Yep.
to know you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They just feel incredibly seen. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice to get that validation. Did I tell you I
Hmm.
nearly died the other week?
What you do now? Oh, I remember.
I
Tell our
choked on
listeners.
a piece of broccoli. Right? I just seriously. So many of you will know that I have had to lie down for a lot of the last 6 weeks. And I'm currently at that point where I can now sit up and then
Hmm.
I will be lying down before I go and do something else.
Hmm.
But it was the first or second week I'd been left unsupervised because I had people
Hmm.
here and I was hungry, so I decided to reheat. No, not reheat, just heat up a ready meal. And it was gnocchi with broccoli. All right.
Hmm.
I'm going to point out it was tender stemmed broccoli. It had been supplied to me by my ex husband. That should have told me something. Did
Yeah,
tell
right.
him
Well,
afterwards. Did tell him afterwards my insurance wasn't up to date. Um, and I'm sort of propped up in my bed eating this. And I was expecting, so when I cook broccoli, it melts in my mouth. It's not
hmm.
mushy, just at that point,
Hmm.
especially tender stem broccoli. So I put a chunk of broccoli in my gob and tried to swallow it. That was the first mistake. The second one was trying to cough it back up. It would
Hmm.
not move. Right?
Hmm.
10 days post spinal fusion surgery, I had to bolt out of bed to try, and I literally stood there going, who do I call? What do I do? All right. I was coughing so hard to bring up said broccoli. I peed my pants. I was wearing clothes for the first time in
Those were,
10 days.
and they were the new palazzos.
Put new linen palazzo pants because I felt really put together because I'd had a shower and put clothes on. Right? Jumped out of bed, trying to hack up this giant piece of broccoli that's trying to kill me. Ended up having to shove my hand down my esophagus and grab it out.
Hmm.
And I'm stood there, broccoli on the floor, which I can't get down to clean up, tears down my face, peed my pants out to change my trousers and have a shower. I'm
Which
like,
was no small week because you weren't, I don't think you were even 2 weeks post
I
surgery on
don't
that.
think I
I
was
think
even
you were
2
a
weeks
week.
post surgery.
I think you were a week and a half.
And
So,
I'm like going through my head is, fuck, the autopsy. Choked on a piece of broccoli and peed her pants like a 4-year-old. That is all I could think going through my head.
so you texted me and said, I've died and come back.
I'm still on painkillers, but I was still on painkillers by that at that stage. So I
Right.
was
Oh,
on
yeah. You still had the
some
good
pretty
drugs.
strong, good drugs.
And I was like, I call you. I'm like, so tell me about it because I knew you were on the good drugs. So I'm like, so tell me about this resurrection you've had. And then I laughed until I almost peed my pants while you were telling
It's just
me.
like seriously.
Oh, God. So
Oh
funny.
my god! And I'm just like literally, who do I call? Because no one's going to be able to hear me.
Hmm.
Oh my god! And I've had a few things like that. Like
But you were
people,
on a lot of medication and your
I
body
was.
was also, adjusting.
It
So
was,
you're
yeah.
doing really well, though.
I feel like I'm doing too well. It worries me because I'm like moving really well. I
Mm,
have pain
mm,
still,
hmm.
and still got pain because I've obviously had a compressed nerve issue for many
Right.
years. That takes a long time to fix.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, but I've
Yeah.
been going to the hydro pool.
Nice.
which is like the warm water, and just walking in it.
Mhm.
And I find
Mhm.
that really nice. I'm trying to work out if I can wear my earpods in there, like
Mm.
with my phone
Cuz you
attached,
don't
because
yeah.
I turn up and I wear a cover up or a dress, a sundress over my
Mhm.
bathers, pull my dress off, get in the water, dry off a little bit, put my dress back on, leave, get a shower when I get home.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
ain't using no public change rooms because the hydro pool is at the public baths.
Right. Yeah.
And can I make a public service announcement, please, to
Go
all
for it.
men? Okay? When we are in our bathers, especially at a public pool, it's different if you're there on the beach. If you're on the beach, if you're sipping a cocktail by a pool, you may be open to conversation. I am not open to conversation when I'm in my bathers, walking in a hydro pool. If you want to chat me up, if you want to stare at my boobs, I'm going to be rude to you. I've had to change the times I go to the pool. It is
Really?
really unnerving. These men are in there, they're doing their frigging rehab. And they're coming up to me wanting to talk to me. Yeah. And their eyes are not in my eyeline. They are not in my eyeline. They are looking at two.
Get a marker, a waterproof marker.
Mhm.
Eyes up here with an arrow.
That's
Right
what I feel
across
like
your
doing.
cleavage.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing a. I told you I bought a couple of pairs of bathers
Yeah.
just to go
Mhm.
to the hydro pool. I have other
Mhm.
swimming
Mhm.
costumes that I would wear if I was going on holiday.
Mhm.
These were just for the hydro pool.
Right.
So they're not exactly risque. Ugh. Women in their bathers are in a vulnerable situation. Do not do it. Mind you, I don't think there's any men
Especially
in their 70s listening to this, but not our
there
demographic.
might be. There might be. We could have a few cool guys in their 70s, but they probably
Yes.
wouldn't be the ones to try to chat us up in a bather in a public
No.
hydro pool while you're
These are
trying to do your
literally,
rehab.
these are dirty old men. I'm sorry, they just are. And they're there for a reason. And I find it repulsive. And it makes me really uncomfortable.
Just tell them to take their ED ridden self away from you.
One guy was trying to talk to me the other day, and then I go back 2 days later, he's there at exactly the same time, and he comes up to me again and says, I'm really sorry, I just wanted to ask you, and da-da-da-da-da, and have I seen you before? And, oh, that's a nice colour on you, because my swim costume's
Okay.
green.
I have a solution for you.
Oh, yes, please. I'd love a solution.
Okay. Next time,
Mm-hmm.
you just say, excuse me, I need to stop you a second. Do you have over $1 million? Do you have a heart condition? Neither. Okay. I'm sorry. I can't talk to you right now.
That's why I want to wear my earpods so they don't talk to me. But I was planning on
Hmm.
doing the sign language. I can't hear.
Oh,
Sorry. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm deaf.
Hmm. Yeah. Or just go. Little fishing reel.
Yeah. I just find it really, ooh, and it makes me not want to go. So now I'm going at 6 o'clock at
Right.
night.
Oh, wow.
But then, look, to be fair, it means there's no children there either. But
Yeah.
that's always, yeah.
That's a
The
bonus.
Do you know how
Not that I
loud?
don't love kids. I do,
Oh,
but
I
I
love
just don't love
kids.
everybody else's kids when I'm trying to do stuff. So
I don't
I
love
did my
children.
thing with my kids.
I don't like children at the swimming pools that scream because do you know how
Hmm.
amplified that is?
It is.
But I
It is.
absolutely love kids, and one kid the other day when I was leaving was running and ended flat on her back. The poor love, and I ran
Oh,
over to check on her, and I told her to tell the floor off. And
yeah.
it's the floor's fault. You tell the floor off, and I
Yeah.
made her laugh.
Now, again, if it's a family swim time or whatever, that's a
Mm,
different story. It's just
yeah,
if I'm going to do something, grown up stuff,
yeah.
I
Which
need
is
to
why six
focus.
o'clock is a really
So
good time for me.
that is
I
a nice
did
time.
the other day. I did a walk in the wild. It was my first walk in the wild, and I had done readings that morning and had another reading to go.
Hmm.
I just couldn't keep my eyes open. Oh my god! I had to have a nap. I had to have an afternoon
You
nap.
were very tired. You wore yourself out.
I did. But you know what? It's getting there. It's fun. But the rehab, the hydropool's fun. I like it, and it takes that pain away as well. I
Mm-hmm.
recommend it to anyone that has arthritis, back pain, ankle
Mm-hmm.
pain, can't
Mm-hmm.
walk.
Mm-hmm.
Get in a hydropol.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good stuff.
Yes.
Indeed,
Yes. So
indeed.
that's my story. I nearly died choking on broccoli.
But you didn't, and
I
you're
have to
still
learn to
here.
chew my food. Maybe it's, time to have it blended.
Make a little smoothie out of the broccoli so you don't risk it again.
If anyone makes me a smoothie out of broccoli, whether I'm this age or 90, I will shove that smoothie so far up your ass that you will never want broccoli again. If you are making me a smoothie, it must include vodka.
Oh, yeah, booze.
Ooh,
That's what I got to do
booze.
next. After we record.
Do you want to explain
I'm
that?
like,
Would you like to talk
yeah.
about this? There is help available.
No, it's just
Reach out.
I need to do my hot chocolate and schnapps, and I
Oh,
haven't done that.
okay.
I
Have you
don't
tried?
drink very much, so
Yeah, but are you putting Baileys in your hot chocolate?
I've had that. It's a little too sweet because I have really good hot
There is
chocolate.
no such thing.
It is to me. You're a Taurus. But I do. I use either that or I put bourbon in it.
See, I don't like bourbon.
I got some really good bourbon. I got some really good stuff. Jack Daniels ain't bourbon. Jack Daniels
What
is
one do
crap.
you get?
I like Maker's Mark. So
Oh, I
Maker's
saw
Mark
that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Maker's Mark is good. And then I think I got like there's kind of a local distillery. I think I got like a fifth of theirs as well. So like there's some, but Maker's Mark
Cool.
is really, really good. Jack
Yeah.
Daniels is not good bourbon.
I've
It's
never
shitty
had.
bourbon.
Never. I
No.
cannot drink whiskey or bourbon. I have drunk it on two or three occasions.
Mm-hmm.
On the first occasion, I woke up with my bedside table above my head. I'm pretty sure I planned to smack my husband on the head with it. Not sure.
Could have been.
The second time I woke up, or I thought I was awake. Obviously, I'd had a bit more bourbon than you would think. And I thought there were flies in the room, like lots and lots of flies. And I picked up what I thought was the can of fly spray beside my bed, and it was a can of Coke. And I shook it, ready to spray it, and and I was awake then. So
Yeah,
I
you would
tend to
be.
stay away from bourbon. Whiskey, I don't know what it is in them, but they do. They give me hallucinations, strange dreams. Um,
Strange. And
yeah,
see,
very
there, I
strange.
can't drink wine. I can't drink beer. I'm allergic to them. But I can
Okay.
drink spirits. Um, and bourbon is just the wine I like. And it's really funny. Like if I go to a bar, which is so rare. But even in a restaurant, if I order a bourbon,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be like, "How do you want that?" I'm like, "Neat."
Okay.
Period. You don't put anything in bourbon. You don't drink it cold. You don't, unless it's in a cocktail, right? But if you're drinking bourbon, it's neat, which means no ice. And almost every time I've ordered, there's been some guy who just goes, "Wow, you really know." Because a lot of people put the ice cube in, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
why would you dilute this
Yeah,
beautiful
I
thing?
get
You
you.
don't. You sip
Mm.
it. It's for sipping. You don't shoot it back. It's not tequila. You don't go, oh,
Yeah, I can't
you
do
know.
tequila either. Tequila and
No, I
I are
can't
not
either because
friends.
tequila almost got me. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I
Can't
remember
drink
many
gin.
Christmases
Mm-mm.
ago, I had been out for lunch that turned into dinner, that turned into cocktails, that,
Oops.
as it is. And I was fine, absolutely fine until we hit the tequila. I had two margaritas, which I love, by the way. I will
Oh, I love
always take a
margaritas. Mm-hmm.
margarita.
Yep.
And my friend had to pour me into a taxi, which was fine. Okay. Then I get a phone call at 8 o'clock the next morning saying, "Are you up to finish the shopping? Because we're going to buy the kids presents." And I said, I had not planned to be out so long. I'm really, really, really hungover and I cannot drive. My ex-husband came and got me. I was vomiting in the middle of a shopping mall into the rubbish bin.
Nice. Good look.
I'm a class act. I am a class act. I surprise myself at how classy I am. I really do. So although I cannot do tequila, I do it often and I do enjoy it.
I do like margaritas, but I
Hmm.
won't do tequila shots because no, I
Yeah, the problem is after two margaritas, someone says, "Do you want a tequila shot?" And I go, "Woo, woo, woo."
yes. It's really easy to go past the stupid limit, and I
Oh,
call
I
it the
do
stupid limit
very
because
often.
after there's this little line, and it's this imaginary line, and if you go over the imaginary line,
Uh-huh.
you get stupid, and for me, it's my if my nose gets numb. So if I'm ever drinking with you,
I'm
and I
Irish.
say
You can't keep up
my
with me.
nose is numb, my
Uh-huh.
nose is numb, you go, you're done
Okay.
because I process toxins, which alcohol
Mm-hmm.
is one of, very, very quickly.
Okay.
And if I get to the stupid phase, I drink all night. I don't, it takes a lot. And I have no problem when I get stupid. Now, this, I was
Mm-hmm.
very young, I was
Yeah.
in college when I did these
I
things.
have
But
learned to knit one per one.
yeah, there you go.
So yeah, I knit one
Yep,
per one, and that keeps me above the
yep,
line. But as I said, when
yep.
I can have if I've had a few cocktails, and someone
No,
says tequila shots, I just go, "Yay!
hello,
That sounds like a really good idea."
party on.
Yes, I'm not
Yeah,
going to be lying on the couch vomiting tomorrow.
again,
It'll all be
yeah,
fine.
it'll be fine. Yeah,
I don't
no,
actually
yeah,
drink very often.
I don't either.
I had to
No.
because I can't lift and carry anything. My eldest son took me to the. People laugh at the name of this, the bottle shop. Do you know what a bottle shop is?
Hmm. It's like a liquor store.
Yeah, it's the bottle.
Yeah, yeah.
We have a very large one, and we call him Uncle Dan because it's like a cavernous warehouse, and you can get everything you
Hmm.
want. So every year I do gift packs for those, my cleaner, my whatever, and it's always got a
Hmm.
bottle of champagne and chocolates and other stuff in. And I hadn't bought the champagne, and I hadn't bought stuff for Christmas Day. Realised I already have 2 bottles of Baileys that need to be drunk this year. I have to start that tonight. And what else did I have to get? There was other stuff. But anyway, I had to get all these gifts. So, yes, my son took me to order lots of alcohol. I did buy some Verve for Christmas Day.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Mom
Yes.
and I looked like total alcoholics when we went to Billings because we cleared out. Like I was carrying this. My mom's like, "Is it too heavy?" I'm like, "I've got the box, Mom. It's fine." Um, but it was a very heavy box.
Wow.
Dad still doesn't know how much we bought.
What did you buy?
We got Dad and his friend because they're coming over this. Like my mom and Dad's friends are coming over next week for dinner. So Dad's friend likes this peach crown royal, which is very good mixed with mixer. That's a
What?
whiskey.
Okay.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I got another flavor and I can't remember what kind it was. Then I got the Maker's Mark, and then we
Mm-hmm.
got a couple of other things.
Yeah.
And we hid it downstairs in the closet so Dad wouldn't see how much we spent on. Even though it's my money and I work my ass for it, off for it. But he's a boomer and he's a dickhead.
Yeah. Well, I have a father that's like that too. So,
What
um,
I put on Blue Sky, which I'm loving.
hmm,
By the way, I love being on Blue
I've
Sky.
got
You
to get
guys,
on it.
you made an account though, right? Did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to go follow you.
I have made an
Um,
account. I just haven't done anything about it.
I didn't. I was on for a year, and much like Twitter when it first started, because I was
Hmm.
on there when it first started. Of course, the lady who has beta tested the internet. Um, the first year, I was kind of like, I don't know where I'm going with this, and I knew, like, at least with that account, I don't want to just talk astrology. That's why it's Lori Rivers. It's
Okay.
not like awake space astrology or whatever. It's like I'm a total person who does a lot. And
Hmm.
I don't really feel like just talking about one thing.
Mm.
That's
No, I get
I
it.
want to talk about lots of things.
I don't want to
Hmm.
be going onto another social media and everyone going, predict.
Right. And that's why I keep it more as like thoughts and reflections and philosophies. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, 9 days out of 10, I'm amazed at the amount of healing this family has done. And I'm glad I'm here. It's one
Mm-hmm.
day out of 10, I remember why I took a one-way ticket out of the country at 18.
Mm-hmm.
Today was that day.
I
You
can
know,
resonate
it
with
was just,
that. Yeah, no, I can resonate with that. I can definitely can.
mhm, mhm. What Gen Xer can't.
Yeah, this is the truth. Is every this isn't the boomers were the distant, no, the absent generation, the unseen, something like that.
The silent generation were the ones ahead, born in
Right.
like the 30s up to like
My
44, 45.
grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Same. My grandma was born in the 20s. So really
Yeah.
from the 20s, like right at the end, like right after World War One,
Mm-hmm.
through the 30s kind of. Well, there was Greatest Generation and then Silent. And I don't know. They name all these things. I'm not a real fan of the generational divides.
I'm not, but I do love classing myself as a Gen X because we are the toughest generation.
We are.
We are.
We're right up there with I think with the Greatest Generation who had to fight like World War II and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And only because we've had to fight social wars that weren't actual wars.
We're
And
still
just
fighting
kind of,
social wars that weren't actual
yeah,
wars. We are
yeah,
still in
exactly.
in
We're
the
in the trenches,
trenches. Definitely.
outmanned, outgunned, you know.
Not outsmarted.
So
Not outsmarted
no,
because there is no
no,
one
because we're
smarter than a Gen X. Sorry, there just isn't.
well. I don't know. You didn't go to school with the people I went to school with. Not a lot of them were real bright. Some of them are dumb as fuck.
Okay, no one's
I
smarter
would
than a Gen X with
then
brains. They're
yeah,
smart.
exactly. No one's
Mm-hmm.
smarter than the smart Gen Xers. And we deeply apologize for our brethren who do not have two cells to rub together, like Mike
Yes.
Johnson.
And I don't even want to talk about him.
We're not going to talk about him.
No, I can't. I'm traumatized
We
enough
won't.
today.
We shan't. We
And do you
shan't.
know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to go and have a rest in a minute, and then I'm going to
I think
go
so.
because I'm allowed out. I'm allowed to drive now.
Good for you.
I am going to go and do some shopping.
Nice. Don't overdo it.
I'm not allowed to carry anything. I have to go and buy some
Right.
face paint.
Oh, that's right, because we're going to have some fun.
We are going to have some fun. I've got to go
I
and buy
have to
some
go buy a
face paint.
tiara and something pink
Yes.
because I don't own anything pink.
Wrong.
I
Wrong.
know. That's why I thought it was funny. I was like, okay, this is funny because I'm actually going to have to go purchase on Monday
I've
something
got
extra. My mom,
so much pink. I have
you should have seen
so.
my mother's face because my mom was constantly trying to dress me in yellow and pink as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and I hated both. Right, I didn't like either one, and because I didn't like being forced to like
Yeah,
into this. I'm talking as a 5-year-old. I did not like being forced into the social agenda. Be shocked. Okay,
I'm not
this
shocked
is
at all.
not. This is yeah. But
I
anyway,
didn't
I
know
look at
what a
mom.
social agenda was at 5. I'd just like to point that
I know.
out.
I would give people lectures. But anyway, I told mom, I said, oh, on Monday when we go do nails, I have to go buy a tiara and something pink. And my mom was like ignoring me a little bit, because
Mm-hmm.
she was doing something like on her phone, and she went, what? She's like, it was almost like, at last? You willingly?
It's like, what have you
But
done with
yeah.
Laurie? And can we have a Laurie back? It'll be
Right.
fun.
No, she's been trying to get me to frou-frou my whole life. And I'd be like, it's uncomfortable and I don't like it.
But
But
how weird
anyway.
is that? Because my mother was the least
Mhm.
frou-frou person. She didn't even
How
wear
funny.
makeup.
Yeah.
Her hair was never like she wore her hair short, so she didn't have
Hmm.
to do with it. She didn't
Hmm.
like
I
pink
understand that.
and frilly
Yeah.
stuff, and
Mm-mm.
yeah. So
And see, it skips a generation, I think, because I was going to like raise my kids like very gender neutral. That was like, we didn't use the term binary back then. I was like, I'm not going to force the social agenda on my kids. And when Sarah was 10 months old, and I was going shopping and I was picking out this cute little purple number for her. and one
Mm-hmm.
little blue number because of her eyes. And she wasn't even verbal yet. And she was like, no. And then she pointed at the pinkest, birthday cakeist, laciest, frilliest dress. And I went, that's
Oh,
what you want? Nodded her head. I was like, okay, okay.
oh.
I was always like, my kids could dress how they wanted, you know? But I was like, well, there went my efforts. But yeah, she loved it. And
Yeah.
she still is my frou frou pretty girl. So,
I
but
traumatized my
yeah.
children by dressing them the same. I did. I did. It's like, seriously, if they go to a therapist and complain about the fact I dressed them the same, not as me, obviously, as each other, um, then
Um,
yeah. But it was really handy if I lost one,
right.
because I would
Yeah.
just
They
hold
look
one up
like
and go,
this.
they look like this.
There
And
you
they'd
go.
look at me and go, seriously, a smaller, bigger version, red hair, the clothes.
See, that works.
It worked.
There we go.
And we did lose
But yeah.
them at times, more than once.
Yeah,
Terrible, terrible
yeah.
human I
That's
was.
a story for another day. The kids.
Absolutely.
Oh. But real quick to wind up, we've got our our end of year party on Friday,
Yay!
the 21st in the no, 20th in the United States.
Yes, the 21st here
And
in
in
Australia.
Australia. And then I've got the solstice party that I do every year, or actually do twice a year in my Patreon, where we do like a vision board. The winter solstice is very, very important on that because we're really setting the energy for the beginning of the next year and how we want to move until the next solstice. Um, I would highly suggest if you're a patron showing up, um, because it's a hell of a year. You better anchor your intentions pretty well.
Yeah.
Very important to be very clear and very grounded in those, and then let go of outcomes. You can't hang on to the outcome and have stuff happen. And then January 25th. So you've got your event on the 4th, on the 25th. It will be how to use astrology to build a business. Nice
I've got
big
a few
banner.
events in January.
Mm-hmm.
May I talk
I haven't
about
set
them?
my other ones. Go ahead. I just haven't set the rest of mine yet, but that one's for sure. And my
I
reading calendar for
have,
January is open.
these are all in
So,
Australian times, so please
mm-hmm,
check the dates. The 11th, so sorry, the 4th, I have New Year, New You, all about manifesting for the new year. It is like literally $30 for 30
mm-hmm,
minutes of manifesting and meditation. On the 11th, I have a large evidential mediumship event, which is, they're large events, they're spirit led. Not everyone gets a
mm-hmm.
reading, but there is an opportunity for a reading. And on the 19th of January, see, I am busy. I have a empowerment workshop
Nice.
talking all about
Nice.
self concept, self care, our own
Mm-hmm.
mentality, and empowering oneself.
Nice. I love it.
Exciting.
Right. And I've been organized, been putting out like what's happening every week in an email and what's happening in the
Mm-hmm.
month in an email, just to, because I know there's so much content on the Patreon that it's
Yeah,
hard to find where
it
everything
gets
is.
missed. I
So
have a
patrons
calendar.
are,
Mm-hmm.
yep. So,
Yeah,
anywho,
it's busy, busy,
we're busy
busy.
ladies.
But
So
we
you guys
do
can
we are going to be
go
taking,
ahead.
both of us have got a couple of weeks off at Christmas.
I'm off for 15 days, but I'm not off. I'm actually, I am and I'm not. I'm not reading. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's
But lots
exactly.
of Patreon stuff and recording and getting stuff ready for the new year. And my calendar is open. So
I'll be
if
working
you're a
behind the
patron,
scenes.
yeah, yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
alrighty.
All right, well, we will see you all next time. Thank you very much.
Ciao for now.